Okay, so this time yes, that's a bit better. So as you saw just then, no more L plate on the Honda Monkey, which means I have passed my A2 motorbike license. This time last week, managed to finally pass my Mod 2 after a year of trying to do it. In my previous video I was talking about how I was trying to do my Mod 2 and that I failed it first time round on a right hand bend, but I managed to rebook it for the 16th of April, which was Friday week. And I'm pleased to report it went fantastically well. I'll tell you a little bit more about it in just a second, but it means I can now ride Monkey around with no L plates on, which is a really cool feeling. So there's no L plate on the back now, we've removed that. The other cool thing is I can now ride my CB500, which I've been riding around a bunch over the last week, and that has also been an absolute hoot to ride around. But it doesn't mean I'm getting rid of Monkey. I'm going to keep Monkey and keep riding Monkey about, because it really is a hilariously fun and enjoyable bike to ride around. So last Friday, woke up nice, breezy, bright and early. I've been doing a few lessons with my old instructor on their CBF 500, just to sort of get used to it, get out of any bad habits that I might have, and I had quite a few. Just making sure you're checking the mirrors, lane positioning, lifesavers where you need to do lifesavers, so on and so forth. And I wanted to do a few hours before the test with him, just so any sort of kinks in my riding I could get ironed out, so when it came to doing the test it would be absolutely perfect. So got there, showed up, rode Monkey there. It was a nice little ride over. The weather was good, which was nice because you don't want to be doing your driving test in horrible weather, so it was nice and sunny. I had it booked for 1:34 p.m. So we had a few hours riding about, and I tell you, that morning was horrible. I was just not on form at all. I was just a bag of nerves, not feeling the ride. I even messed up my hill start. I was indicating left when I pulled out of my hill start right. And I thought, hill start is one of the most rudimentary things which I've never had a problem with, and now the day of my test I'm struggling with it. So that didn't fill me with confidence either. I had the show me tell me questions that I was trying to get into my head the night before, and they are also basic questions, pitting questions, how to do certain things on the controls of the bike. So I wasn't too worried about them until the night before, when I started looking at them thinking, I don't know these as much as I thought I did. So I was really nervous, thinking I was going to get a minor for... So we turned up to the test centre half an hour or so early, just to help my nerves, obviously. I'm standing there. The two guys that had gone previously to me had passed theirs, so I was thinking, well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe we can get 3 and 3, or maybe there's pressure on because they've passed theirs and they'll be expecting me to pass mine. And then the examiner calls my name, and I tell you something, the examiner put me at ease straight away. And the funny thing about this examiner was he was the exact same one that had failed me a year before. And to be honest, he was fantastic the year before as well. I guess I just wasn't as experienced as a rider, so I failed on the handling. Nope. Old people driving, man. I do worry. So the examiner called me in and I said, haha, do you remember me from last time? And I told him where I failed. He's like, yeah, I think I do remember you actually, James. And first thing is the eyesight test. So they take me over to, because there's no cars there, because they weren't doing many car tests because of COVID, they're only just opening up. They'd attached some number plates to a fence about 20 metres away. So he was really funny about that. And then the questions he asked me were brilliant. Now, I was worried about these, but the ones he asked me were as easy as can be. He said, how do you use your horn? So I was like, yep, that's how you use the horn. How do you change the oil? I mean, come on, who doesn't know how to change the oil on a bike? And then the final one he asked me was the pillion question about what do you adjust if you're carrying a pillion. And I knew this one because he'd asked me this, the exact same one, the year before, and I struggled with it. So I made sure I knew the answer, which is mirrors, front headlight, rear suspension and rear tyre pressure. The monkey still does put a massive smile on my face whenever I take it out. So we do the questions and then we head out on the ride. I am put at ease because the guy was so nice. He was just one of those people that it's almost as if he wanted me to pass it, so he was putting me at ease. So pulled away without stalling, so that was good. Test centre route I've done time and time again. You know what? I thought I'd failed on the first roundabout because we went round it as a left-hand turn, and I thought I needed to do a right lifesaver while I was on the roundabout, and I don't think I did it. So I was sort of thinking, no, James, have you seriously failed your test on the first roundabout just down the road from the centre? Never mind, we carried on riding. And you know what? The rest of the route was absolutely fantastic. It was all roads I knew, which was really nice. And the thing is, once you get into the test, and everyone will say this to you, you do get more calm. So I was far more settled around 20 minutes into the test. And then it got to the point where I had to do my independent riding. Now, they stopped me right outside where I used to live for my independent riding. So I was thinking, oh, this is the perfect place to do it. We literally rode past my house. And then the roundabout that I have done is a mini roundabout, a left-hand turn again, a mini roundabout that I have done hundreds, if not thousands of times, having lived there for 15 or so years growing up. I go left at this roundabout and there's traffic in front of me, there's traffic on the roundabout, to the left, to the right. And I pulled onto the mini roundabout to go left, and I sort of was caught in the middle of the corner, and the car in front of me stopped, and then the examiner comes up to the right of me, and I'm like, oh no, has he gone there to sort of protect me because I've done something wrong? Am I not allowed to pull onto a roundabout like this? Oh, all sorts of thoughts coming through my head, and I was thinking, if I didn't fail it on that first roundabout, I failed it here. Anyway, we carry on, we do the rest of the test. I wasn't too worried at this point. I was thinking, if I failed it, just do my best for the rest of the ride. And then it was over pretty quickly. We pulled into the test centre, and he said through the radio, James, fantastic, you've passed, well done, mate. And I was so excited at this point. I was so nervous beforehand. I was so happy that I'd now passed my test and I could ride my big bike and I could ride Monkey without the L plates. In fact, I didn't get any rider faults at all during the ride, so I was fine when I was going round those roundabouts. All of that training beforehand paid off. So what does this mean? Well, I've now got my A2 licence, so I can ride any bike up to, I think, 47 horsepower, there or thereabouts. So that's like a 500cc engine, so it means I can ride my CB500. Or I could get a restricted bigger bike like a Honda CBR 650 or bikes similar to that. Now I'm only 2 months away from turning 24, which is when you can do your unrestricted licence. So I'm going to go ahead and do my Mod 1 and Mod 2 in a few months' time. And you might be saying, well, James, why don't you just wait till then to do it in the first place? Well, to be honest, I've had my CB500 sitting there for a year, and I really wanted to be able to ride it. And I didn't want the pressure of having to pass my test, and it's only valid for a certain amount of time because it's only valid for how long your theory's valid for, which is February 22, so February of next year. And I really didn't want that to be a contributing factor. So I thought if I passed it, great, I can now know that I can ride my 500cc bike, or a restricted one, and not have to worry too much about getting my big license. Now, does this mean that there'll be no more monkey bike videos coming? Absolutely not. There are going to be a ton of monkey bike videos coming your way, but I want to know, what videos do you want to see? What do you want to know about this bike? I've got a few things in mind, such as how many miles will the monkey do? What is the top speed of it? Can it go to London? Can it be a commuter bike? All of these sorts of videos coming your way. So if you want to see those, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications if you don't want to miss an upload. Alright, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Off-roading on the monkey. It's the first off-roading it's done. New video, can the Honda Monkey off-road? Yes, it can. Of course the Honda Monkey can off-road.